All right, guys, in today's video, I've got Leia here. And Leia, you are from where in the Philippines?
I'm from Cebu City, but I am living here in Dumaguete for a few years now. But I still go to Cebu every now and then because my family is in Cebu.
Okay. Well, guys, if you stick around, we are going to find out all about Leia and her journey from living abroad to why she decided to come back to the Philippines. Stick around. All right, thanks for being on my channel. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you are from Cebu City, you said, but you chose Dumaguete because family, or?
No, I don't have a family
No
here.
family here,
But
okay.
it's more like the nature. I love nature.
The nature.
And Cebu has changed a lot already.
Yeah.
It has become really crowded and polluted.
Yes.
And compared to Dumaguete, it has everything that I need. I love the ocean. I
Yeah.
love diving, and I free dive a lot, many
Wow.
times in a week. So it's my paradise, the ocean right now. So Dumaguete has that best spot here.
Yeah. Well, free diving, I find that impressive because I can hold my breath for like 30 seconds and I panic, which is ironic because I'm a scuba diver. But
well, it's a different thing. I
totally
also
different.
scuba dive. It's like
Yeah.
a few times in a month I scuba dive and I also free dive because these are two different worlds.
Very, very different.
Very different.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So I also lived in Cebu City. What are, before we talk about your experience abroad, where in Cebu City did you live? Like what part?
Really in the city area near Colon Street.
Near Colon,
yeah, that's
okay.
the area that are really in the center of the city.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the crowd there.
Oh, yeah,
Really
yeah.
crowded.
I used to live in IT Park and also in Mactan. And I agree, it took, to get to nature, like for example, even in IT Park, I would have to drive about 45 minutes up to Busai or so.
Yes, in the tops.
On the top, and even that is not as much nature as it used to be. It's starting to.
It has changed already.
It's
Cebu
changed,
has
yeah.
changed already. Because you see the Ayala before, it, at the back side of it, there's a lot of trees, and we used
Right.
to hang out there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
During high school, it's one of our places where we hang out. But now, at the back of Ayala, it became the Ayala terraces.
Right.
So there's already like food courts, no
Right.
more trees. So
All gone. Yeah. Yeah, that's an issue, and that's one thing that I like about Dumaguete is, for example, if I want to go to the beach, we have the beach. If I want to go up to the mountains, you got
Yes.
that, waterfalls.
the waterfalls.
Yeah.
It's just a few minutes away.
So, did you have other options that you were thinking about besides Dumaguete? Was this, or you knew that you wanted?
I was looking at Bohol first.
Okay.
So I went to Bohol first. That was 4 years ago. It's supposed to be I was going to be there. Like I already like had the spot, but when I went there, it was like already very touristy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then I visited Dumaguete, and I'm like, no, this is perfect vibe for me because there's like a very like the city vibe, which has the malls, and at the same time I have the nature vibe.
Yeah.
So it's actually perfect for me because that's what I want. Like if you want to go also to the mall, there's the mall. It's not completely province-like.
Right.
And at the same time, there's a lot of nature around. So
Yeah.
I find this area really perfect for me.
Do you feel like it's going to get like Cebu at some point? Like I'm already feeling like I get frustrated with the traffic sometimes.
Yes,
so.
in the center city in here,
Yeah.
in Sibulan, during the rush hour, I can already see the difference. And I've been here almost 4 years, and
Yes.
it has already started
Already
becoming
the
like
change.
Cebu.
Yeah.
But 15 minutes away, when you go to Bacong, the traffic starts to like disappear. And
Yeah,
especially when
that's
you
right.
go to Valencia already, it's already like very wide and
Yes.
no traffic anymore. So I still love that. I hope it
Yep.
will change for the next few years.
Me too. That's kind of how we feel. We feel like you got to be outside of the city. Unfortunately, you still have to come into the city for different things, but yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm there. I'm 20 minutes away from the city.
Now, before this, by the way, you were, how old are you?
I'm 43.
43?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Good, because you look in your early 30s, to be honest.
Thank you.
Now, before here, you were living internationally in India,
Yeah,
of all
I was
places.
in India, and I also traveled to many countries.
Okay.
Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan,
Okay.
Vietnam, Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
for work. I was working before
Okay.
as well.
And did you have a plan just to stay overseas,
That
or?
was the initial plan, was just to stay
Okay.
in India.
Uh-huh.
And I was there for many years, and that was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here forever, kind of something like that.
Uh-huh.
But then there was a point where I
Mm-hmm.
changed my mind, because there are a lot of things that I miss
Sure.
being here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll mention to you
Mm-hmm.
later on. But yeah, when I came back for vacation
Mm-hmm.
from many years abroad,
Right.
that's when I feel like, okay,
You missed it.
I missed it, and I
Mm-hmm.
actually want to be here for the rest of my life. It
Okay.
just like we hit, like the plan was to settle abroad,
Uh-huh.
but then when I came back here to meet my family,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stay abroad.
Was the Indian culture hard to get used to, or?
It's a challenge.
I would
It's a
imagine
challenge.
so, yeah.
Especially that I was in the north part, so
Uh-huh.
they are really more conservative compared to Philippines. I really
Right.
thought that Filipinos are conservative, but when I was in North India, oh my God, they are more
Even-
conservative, especially when it comes to religion, tradition, and
Yeah.
there's a lot really that is like so much for me. So it was a culture shock for me as well.
Wow.
But when I went to Mumbai in the south part, they
Uh-huh.
are more open-minded, and
Okay.
you can dress up anything without being judged. But
Uh-huh.
in the north part, even just the way that you have to dress up
Right.
is a big thing.
More for women, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Especially for women.
Yeah.
Especially for women. It's a different
So-
world for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Did you like Indian food?
I love Indian food, and I can
Yeah.
cook Indian food.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that I can never like stay away from, because I really love biryani,
You like the-
curry. Yeah, but not this very spicy one. I adjusted to mild spicy.
Mild spicy.
But I love the
Okay.
different kinds of herbs
Uh-huh.
in the flavors of Indian food. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maya and I like it too. We've been to some Indian places in Malaysia and Thailand, and haven't really found any great Indian here, but Malaysia and Thailand we did. I suppose your kitchen.
Yeah. Kitchen.
When you came back, I suppose with all this travel now, is it much easier for you to get out of the country and travel? Have you?
Not really. Still,
Still?
the immigration will still look into details. It's
Okay.
that's a very good point, because there's some misconception about that. That once you have traveled a lot of countries, it's easy
Right.
for you to go out. Not really. Because, for example, last time I went to Taiwan a few years ago for work,
Right.
they really have to look up my employment status, the ITR,
Oh,
the BIR
okay.
thing. They have to look
Yeah.
it up, and they still have to look up the reasons for you not to come back.
Right.
Like the roots, like you have to come back to your roots. So actually, they are more strict compared to other countries. In my experience, because I've been in traveling around other
Yeah.
countries, and they just look,
Yeah.
okay, here, business or pleasure, okay, fuck, that's it.
Right.
Here, when you go out and when you come back, they really have to look into the documents, and
Yes.
and yeah, it's still not easy for me to go out if I want to get out of the Philippines. They still have to look the other documents, and yeah, even one time I was held for more than an hour, and good thing I checked in early. So this is also something that you have to, especially for Filipinos who are going like abroad, you really have to give many hours to go to the airport, because when the immigration has to investigate you, they don't care if your flight is there. Good
don't,
thing
yeah.
my flight that time, they really waited for me, the airplane, for Taiwan. And they really waited for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm already like late, because, and I
Yeah.
was waiting for 3 hours
Jeez.
for the interview, for the documents and everything. And they just told me like, oh, you go to this another person, you go to this another
Wow.
person. They pass by, and like, my flight is already there. They don't care.
No.
But I was grateful that the flight, they really waited for me.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and yeah, they one of the staffs from the flight came, like she needs to be in the plane,
Yeah.
and that helped a lot. What if that flight that staff did not come? I
Right.
would be I would be left behind. Yeah. So, yep.
Well, Maya experienced about 45 minutes of questioning.
There.
But now that we are married and we travel in the same line together, it's.
I think it's going to be easier.
It's easier,
It's easier for married couples to.
For sure, yeah. Now, so you came back. You had missed a bunch of things about it. Was it mainly family, or what? What were some of the things that you really missed?
The number one thing is the nature.
The nature.
Although
Okay.
there's a lot of nature there abroad, but it's still different. It's still different with the beach here. And what I love here is that the different islands has different vibes. Dumaguete is different. Bohol, when you go to Bohol, is also different. When you go to Siquijor, is different. I cannot explain really what it is, but I did not find that abroad. And the beach, there is a white beach in Indonesia. I've been to Jakarta and in the different volcanoes there in West Bandung, in Java. They have these waterfalls and stuff. But I don't know, the waterfalls here is still different. The Philippine waterfalls is still different. I really cannot explain. The nature is different here. And for me, that resonates with me the most. I have two reasons. So that's my number one reason.
Okay.
The number two reason is the people. The Filipinos has this warmth, hospitable vibe or energy, which I did not find abroad and into so many countries. Like, for example, in India and in other, can I mention the country?
Yeah.
In India, when, for example, someone is having an accident, they just don't care. But me, I'm the only one who stopped. Like, we have to help the person. No, it's not. You're not allowed to do that here. Okay. So that's in India. And in Vietnam was the weird thing because there was a biker that fell off right in front of me, and it was like we were about to cross. And my instinct, like as a Filipino, we have to go and help the person.
Right.
But the locals are holding me, stopping me. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that here. The locals of Vietnam, they told me you're not allowed to do that here. And I'm like, why? You call 911 or something? No. And what was surprising to me was they just throw coins to the person.
Throw coins?
They throw coins to the person. I'm like,
doesn't do you any good with a broken arm.
oh my God, yeah. So they just throw coins and nobody cares. They just left in there and they just throw coins. And for me, if you are in the Philippines, you will get help immediately, no matter where you are. If you're even in Manila, it's a city kind of person where people are so busy. But when someone needs help, they really need help. They really help you, and that's something that I really miss. The kind of vibe where Filipinos they just care for you. And also the thing that where you can talk without malice. Like, for example, the taxi drivers. Like, I can talk to the taxi drivers easily without thinking that I'm flirting with him. Not in India. Definitely not.
Bad,
if I talk to somebody, to a male, to a person, to a guy, they would think that they're flirting with them. And it's like,
you're not supposed to talk to them?
You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to talk to in the northern part. It's very conservative.
Interesting.
And also in the job. So I was managing a call center there in India, and the kind of environment that you have to really adjust, because here you can be friendly with the staffs. Although there's still boundaries, but you can smile and be friendly.
Sure.
But there, no.
Take it the wrong way.
No, because I did it, and it ended up badly in a way that they're not listening to me. So it was so funny. Can I tell you the experience? So it was so funny because everybody was just ignoring me, and I was the English trainer over there. I'm like, what the heck? What can I do for them to really listen to me?
Right.
So the next day, because I don't want this to happen, I'll get fired or whatever.
Yeah.
So the next day, I put up this chair.
Yeah.
And I put the tongue twister, Peter Potter picked a pack of pepper on the board. And then I stood up on the chair because they're big people, and I'm tiny. So just to emphasize my height, I go up in the chair like a stage, and I put that tongue twister, and I told them, whoever can do the tongue twists, I will give my job as a trainer. and all the benefits and everything, because I have good benefits over there. I mentioned all the benefits in the salary. You can have it all. You don't need to apply to the employer. I already told the Canadian employer that whoever can do this perfectly, I will give away my job, and you can also have the bonuses and everything.
Wow.
But if you cannot, then what did I say? If you cannot, so okay, first I did that, and then I was on top of the chair, and then they were just like shocked. So of course I did a Peter Piper picked a pack of pepper. Anybody who can do it? And they were like just like shocked about it, and they're like, no, you cannot do it. So if you cannot do it, then why are you not listening to me?
Right.
So from now on, you have to listen to me, or I'll fire you. And then that's the time.
And it worked, huh?
It worked. So that was the only time that I have to like get a grip of the employees, and for me, that was a lesson that I have to be really strict.
Right.
I have to really put boundary, and I don't like smile. Smiling
No more
and friendly
smiling.
is not gonna work in India.
Right.
So yeah, and I miss that. When in Philippines, it's really different. You can really be smiling. You can really be friendly.
Sure.
Just a little boundary, of course, of the employee and employees, but it's different.
I'm trying to, in my head, I can hear Indians trying to do that tongue twister. I imagine it would be very hard.
Can you try to do it with the Indian accent?
No, but Maya does an Indian accent very well.
Maya.
In fact, sometimes we'll do like an Indian accent. We talk to each other
That's
in Indian.
so funny.
Nothing against Indians.
Your accent is actually cute.
But so, is there any country that comes close as far as like a second that you really like out of the countries you visited?
Not really.
Not really.
To be honest.
Philippines is the best.
Philippines is really the
Okay.
best. If you are like me, that are into the community and people is important and nature is important.
Yeah.
Really, Philippines is for me. I haven't found any country that has the warmth and the no malice thing when you because I'm a girl, and it's something that when you go to another country you have to be careful when you interact with the locals, and I don't feel safe with that in other countries. But here, wherever you go in the Philippines, from north to south, if you will be a friendly girl, you're good.
There you go. So before we end it, Leah, you have a channel. What is your channel's name?
My channel is Expat Guide Philippines, and it's more like I'm interviewing also a lot of expats who are here living in the Philippines, and also those who are settling in the Philippines, because I'm curious also as someone who has lived abroad, why are you here? Why are they here? And me as a Filipino, of course, I have my reasons because I've been here. It's my home country. But I'm curious actually of these expats. Why are they staying here? So it's more like kind of like that my theme in my channel, Expat Guide Philippines.
Okay, guys, there will be a link for Leah's channel down in the description in the pinned comment. Check it out. Thank you so much for being on my channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. See you guys next time. Ciao.